I am muted. I have the screen up. I am starting with a bang. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Spork of Ice and Fire. I am Scott of Sporking News Podcast and loaning it right now, but you never know. Soon enough, some people may come on. But tonight, we talk about the Andals. And as I speak, Bad Takes Bojans. What is up?
No, nothing much. Getting ready for school to start back up with all the
Yeah,
craziness in the neighborhood. And yeah, how about you guys?
good times. Good times. We went on our trip to what's up, Stig? Went on our trip to uh Tennessee and got there at the airport like maybe close to 45 minutes before they boarded, where the woman told us, yeah, 40 minutes before they board, we can't take your luggage now. And I said, well, it's 45 minutes. Yeah, 40 minutes before they board. And she did that with me every minute until it was 39 minutes. And then she's like, yeah, I can't take it with you. So what is the context of this? I just saw this live stream on my recommendation and I decided to click it on because it looked relatively interesting. Don't you worry, we're going to get into it in a second. I'll tell you the rest later. I had to drive down to Tennessee by myself. But we are going to be talking. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We are going to be talking about the Andal invasion. We'll be talking. So the Andal invasion, how a holy war changed Westeros. Before the Targaryens, the bloody Andal conquest of Westeros that a lot of people forget about. So we are going to be touching on that. What is up, Stig? How are you, sir? And thank you for being here.
Well, still awake.
Yeah, I'm glad you are awake, my friend. Excuse me. Cheeseburgers at the local festival they just had. So we're talking Andals tonight. We're going to start off with the Andal invasion. So how a holy war changed. Yeah, the Andals. I don't
there's an E in it. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's Andals. There's no E.
No, D.
D, yeah. Yes, definitely add the D in there because then we're in a totally different holy war. Yeah, the Andal invasion, how a holy war changed Westeros forever. In Westeros, conquest is remembered in fire and blood. But long before the dragons of House Targaryen, another invasion reshaped the continent's destiny. The Andals didn't just come with swords, they came with gods. They came with ideas and a burning, burning faith. This was no simple war of kings. It was a holy war, a crusade that rewrote the law, culture, and the soul of the Seven Kingdoms before they were even considered the Seven Kingdoms. So that's what we will be talking about tonight. So I hope, like my good friend here, Kirsty Angel, and I hope No Lars will hang on with us because we are going to be discussing that tonight. I'd never really dove into the Andals conquest. Really, I thought about it. They came with steel. The first men had iron, so kind of screwed it all up, right? They had steel, not bronze. It was steel, right? The Andals, I'm pretty sure. But they had bronze. I'm sorry, because the bronze runes and the armor that House roll from the Vale, not Aaron, but House starts with an R. Rollins. Oh my God, why am I blanking on them? They're at the gate of the moon.
Yeah, I mean, how didn't one of them get killed in the first book right away?
Yes. Royce. Thank you, buddy. I wanted to.
I thought Royce, but I didn't want to say it because I thought I was wrong.
But even if you're wrong, we'll only make fun of you.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
So
if you're wrong, just deny it.
Yes, that's what I've seen. Nolar says, I have no idea what the Andal invasion is, but this seems interesting. Didn't they conquer the Iron Islands? Actually, no, they did not. They conquered everything they may have taken parts of the Iron Islands, but there are still First Men Islands, houses on Iron Islands. The North, they got stopped at the neck. They never were able to conquer the North. Every other part of the Seven Kingdoms, which is actually 7 kingdoms, because we always say the 7 kingdoms, but it's actually 8 if you really think about it. You have the North, the Riverlands, the Vale, the Iron Islands, the Reach, Dorne, and the Westerlands. So that's 7. Oh shit, what am I? Oh, and the Crownlands. Or not the Crownlands, the Stormlands. So you got 8, really. They called it the 7 Kingdoms prior to Dorne being added to it, I believe.
They
Gotcha.
they invaded after they claimed they had seen.
Yes, and that's what I was going to come up with. So I'll do my little spiel, guys, and then we'll talk about it. So I hope you guys in the chat enjoy this. Let me know if the chat says this sucks, and we will move on. But the world before the Andals. First men migrated and the dawn of ages. So you had the first men crossed from Essos and Westeros via a land bridge we all know called the Arm of Dorne. They say that's around 12,000 years ago, but I will question dates coming up a little later. They brought bronze weapons. Okay, so they did have bronze. My bad. It was bronze versus steel. And horses, and began cutting down the sacred weirwoods, leading to a war with the children of the forest. We all talked about, I think, the last time we were all together.
Side note about that, though, the 7-faced god, right? Is kind of Catholicism in Westeros.
I would say so.
Yeah, that's what it's the closest to it. Interesting that they immediately start going for the children of the forest.
The druids, you would think?
Yeah, and also maybe they knew something that had something to do with the Doom of Valyria.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Or did that happen later?
No, the Doom happened before the Andals.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not correct. The Doom only happened 100 years before the conquest of Aegon. So
maybe the Andals caused the Doom of Valyria because the children of the forest fought back and hit the people from that side of the world.
Well, we have talked about how the children of the forest definitely, because they live longer lives and there's less of them, they plan out their conquest, like their attacks. So they did the Arm of Dorne, right? They broke it. We believe that the Neck was a second attempt. That's how we got the marshlands. They tried to break that, right?
The third one was Hardhome.
Yep, Hardhome. How does that happen? That definitely wasn't the White Walkers that blew that place up.
Nope.
No.
There wasn't even a town there. They were trying to build a town.
Right.
Then something erupted in those caves beneath and basically boiled them. And
basically like what? Like the Doom.
Yeah. And the people at the wall saw the light in the sky, and it lingered for days or something. So that's a volcanic eruption that you see in the distance, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it was raining ash afterwards.
Yes. And if you think about it real quick, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Tom, it's been a long time, my friend. Mead Raid, thank you. I appreciate that, man, more than you know. And Mead Radio, I haven't seen it in a while, but I haven't been on YouTube as much. But if Mead Radio is on at any certain time, you put it in the chat if you're still here, because I do dig listening to like cartoon hits of the 80s and stuff he does. But the thing I was thinking
and all
about,
the commercials are so good on Mead Radio.
They are. There was a time where, so Hardhome, when was that? Because I remember them believing that I think what they said was they were questioning why the sun was coming up at that time, right? It was so bright.
Yeah.
Right. And that was the same Hardhome, right? Because Hardhome only, there was the one that happened that John sent people to, but that wasn't the same thing we're talking about, right? Wasn't there 2 separate times Hardhome got blown, like screwed over?
Yeah, the wildlings tried to build a town at Hardhome.
Right.
And volcanic eruption happened.
Okay.
Inside the caves, and then later on, when we get to the main series, some kind of small lady told people to go to Hardhome.
Right.
right? And then they got enslaved.
Yes.
So
It's a little
the
weird. A little lady did it, right?
yeah, that battle you see in the show, that never happens because
Right.
uh,
John's not even there.
and there's no town there
Right.
because they even stress that the wildlings don't have towns.
Right.
So
Right. No fortification, nothing.
yeah, so where the hell does Hardhome come from? So it's the show couldn't even keep internal logic.
No, well, that we know very well. But after the First Men and the Dawn Age, the Pact and the Age of Heroes happened. So after centuries of war, like it's not like even 100-year war. This is centuries they fought the Children of the Forest, the First Men, and I think
Yeah.
people forget that. Like it was a long, brutal war, and in the Pact, the Children of the Forest gave the First Men everything except for the deep wood. Everything else was theirs, but they had to come to believe in the god, which is trees. And that's where they got the First Men. We are going to make you pray to the god. We're going to make you pretty much sacrifice people to the trees. And if not, you're doing that. Look at what Ned did. Chop that poor bastard's head off from the watch, and then took the blood and cleaned it in the pool right in front. And he always did it. Cleaned blood off of his sword right at the foot of the tree. So he was
And
feeding that tree for 10 years, generations.
makes you
That's
wonder.
really
Oh, sorry.
Go
I was
ahead.
saying that's really interesting because I wasn't sure if was he feeding the blood to the tree, which makes a lot of sense, or was he using the water at the base of the tree to clean the sword as a purification? Or
Well,
was
I
it kind of
believe that.
reciprocal?
I think it was what he was doing was cleaning his sword without the knowledge that he was feeding the tree,
Gotcha.
He was doing blood magic,
not
and
even knowing it.
yeah, and only death may pay for life. So what was
Yeah.
what the heck were they keeping alive?
Well, and
Or
then yeah, that's a good question,
Mhm.
old man. And let's think about how many of the flashbacks Bran has where the tree is showing him people getting killed in front of it. Love, birth, and death in front of that tree. Um, I think the act of cleaning that may have been something he learned from his father. This is just speculation, my own little idea, but this might be something that they've been doing for generations and not realizing it lost the meaning of what they actually were doing, which was feeding the tree, just like they lost what winter is coming really means. To them it's winter's coming. It's harsh and we have to come together because the lone wolf dies, but really what winter is coming means the White Walkers are coming and we need to defend ourselves. Hello, hey
Yeah,
Chad.
because the Stark motto is the only one that isn't boasting about their own house.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
that's true.
it's more of a warning.
Um, Mother Mole. Yeah, you're right. That was who brought them to Hearthome. I believe
Yeah.
that's correct. Now, we met another small woman with gifts. Friends with Jenny from Old Town, and we believe she's the ghost of High Heart. Um, and most likely had Children of the Forest blood in their veins, in their lineage. Jenny from Old Time might have even had Children of the First Men. I mean, Children of the First Men, Children of the Forest. So there was some crossbreeding happen, even though they are completely different species. And I always wondered about that too, like how this animal-like being, like hobbit size, is breeding with humans. Are they using some form of magic to do that?
No, just incredible dedication.
Yeah. Can I just really quick say, Nolars, thank you for subscribing to the channel. That means a lot to me, man. Or person. Um, but you have to get going. Please check out this stream later. We also have some videos. I don't do as many, but I'm planning on kicking that up a notch. So thank you for checking in. And we also have a great E. Clay Thomason member of the channel. And he says, why would you subscribe to this channel? I don't get it. Thank you, my friend. I love you. Yeah, dedication is something. Dedication to
It's an
defeating the
exclusive
first
club. We are doing so hard to keep it under 10,000 subscribers.
And I've been doing really good at that. Screw you, culture. No, just kidding. I like that. You can't sum up life much simpler. Love, birth, death. It pretty much is. Maybe throw an extra love in there. Love, birth, love, death. But yeah, so you get the children of the forest. They sign the pact, a truce, brokered between the two. And really, I think they win what they want, because they give up everything, the mountains, the grasslands, the sea, the forests, but not the deep woods. That's the only thing they don't give up. And there's not many of them, except for massive underground caverns under some of the deep woods, like in the Stormlands, where I believe where the act of the blood magic they used to break the Arm of Dorn was done in that cavern. I'm calling it, even though I think that was only in a sample chapter. But I don't care, because if it ends up in the book, that's definitely where they broke the Arm of Dorn. They did that in this massive dwarven type cavern from like Lord of the Rings. The way they explain it in that paragraph, it's intense how big this place is.
Remember when Melisandre went in there?
Yeah.
She had to cross like a barrier before she could use the magic.
Oh, you're talking. Yeah, that's up north. Yeah. Yeah, this is down south. I'm talking. Oh, wait a minute. You're right.
No,
under Storm's End. Yeah. Yeah. I was talking about under the Rainwoods. Is it the Rainwoods? But yes.
I thought you meant Storm's End. So.
No, it's in the Stormlands. It's under the Rainwood.
Well, I fucked up.
No, you didn't, because that is a good point too. There are boundaries where certain magic is strong. I mean, she talks about the navels of the world where magic is more powerful, but there's also places where we see that will not allow magic to come through it.
Yeah, the wall is one
of them. Yep.
And maybe at Winterfell too, in the crypts. I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion it might be.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt the crypts. I wouldn't doubt that at all. I think it's pretty funny that she tells us about the wall and then Storm's End, both most likely built by Bran the Builder in the Age of Heroes, which I was just going to bring up too. So it's kind of like it all goes together. But what were you were going to say something, Tina? I thought I heard you.
Yeah, I was just reading about Rainwood, because I forgot the name. And it apparently that there was a woods witch in Rainwood called the Green Queen, who held the forest for almost a generation. This was after House Durrandon claimed the forest for the First Men, and that's cool. I hadn't heard that before.
I haven't either. I didn't know that. See,
there's a lot of little tidbits that's so easy to miss. Remember when I was rereading the 5 books, I was posting that shit in the group chat all the time? Little bits I noticed. It's cluttered with little. Yeah, I wish I had kept those pictures though, because would have been nice to have. But then
I kind of want to go back and see if we still have it.
Well, it's probably in the chat, but it's probably like you have to scroll for like a year.
I will do it. But like we just talked about, the Age of Heroes happened after the Pact, where legendary figures like Bran the Builder and Lan the Clever emerged, and petty kingdoms began to form everywhere. But somewhere in there was also the Long Night. So the Pact was signed, and then the Long Night happened, which the show does a terrible job explaining, but there was a pact between the First Men and the Children of the Forest, and then somehow this magical ice species tries to take over Westeros, and I think at that time screwed up the nature of Westeros. because we have to remember George has said the length of the seasons is there's a magical reason for it. So I'm starting to think Grant G in the house. Hello, sir. All right. But what I'm starting to realize, and that we all talked about many times, is that there is a good chance the children of the forest had something to do with the White Walkers and lost control of them.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, all good.
I think the Great Other is the one who did it.
And who is that? I want to know.
Maybe, yeah, maybe he managed to do what he did because the children of the forest had been weakened enough.
That could be it too. A lot of us have speculated the children of the forest being the enemy of man. Maybe not the enemy of the story, but enemy of man. But maybe they had no control over any of it.
Well, there could be two enemies up there, the children of the forest and the Great Other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about them necessarily being an enemy. I feel like if they were, then they wouldn't have given up everything that they gave up so easily.
Right. But what I hit upon...
It wasn't easy, though, because it was centuries.
It's centuries of blood.
But what I'm saying is what they gave up to what they got seemed like it was
one-sided.
Yeah, extremely one-sided. And I felt like if there was something going on with them, the Great Others and all that as well, I think they were in the middle. I think it was the enemy of my enemy. And they were getting hit from both ends. I think that's probably the reason why they were willing to do it, maybe for protection. But what could man really do against the Great? Like that's I don't know. The whole scenario about the children of the forest to me is they're either still the ultimate bad guys or they were just some innocent bystanders. I don't feel like they were anything else. Like,
we need to keep in mind what they're doing to Bran.
Yeah,
because that's stuff.
Horrific.
That's not a good guy thing they're doing to him, though. But it could be like they're doing evil out of necessity.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There may not be any bad guys in this story, or everyone's a bad guy, But what I said before you got on, Grant, which I've thought about, but I've never really stressed it, is that they gave up, like you said, after centuries, not a century, centuries of bloodshed. They gave up everything but the deep woods. But the first men had to stop cutting down the trees, and eventually they started to worship the tree. And right there, maybe the children won, because now we have a link to you guys that'll never end. We could see everything you're doing, and now you're giving us blood sacrifices. Even like I said before, Ned, not knowing he's doing it, wiping the blood off in the pool,
his sword,
is feeding the tree. And it might be something he learned from his father, who learned from his father, and so on and so forth. And just like their house motto, they forgot why they were doing it there.
See, the only hitch in that, I think if it was something that they needed to do to feed the tree over the years, then why isn't it that's the spot where they do all the beheading? They should be doing it right there and then.
But they used to. People were killed under that tree. We see it in Bran's visions. I think it's something that lost. And maybe if it was someone who did something terrible in Winterfell, they did. But they had to go up and meet this guy because where he was caught was far away. But I see what you're saying. They could have dragged him back and chopped his head off there, but he does give blood to the tree.
I mean, all listen to the guy. That would have worked as well.
Yeah, it would have been nice if you actually just gave him a chance. But, it could have been something that lost its meaning after a long time, but whenever he had blood on his sword, he came back and cleansed it in front of the weirwood. And I just think that has something. That means something. Everything George does means something.
Well, yeah, and also the fact that you said that you thought everyone might be either a good guy or a bad guy. I mean, that's all George writes is great characters.
Yeah.
There is no hero. There is no good guy. There's no bad guy. Everyone has moments.
Yeah. Right.
So right. I mean, I can see that with the children of the forest. I kind of feel like the White Walker connection with them? Was it more of a TV thing? Because
What?
George has never really spoke when he how the Children of the Forest made the Night King.
Yeah, that's a TV thing
that's
that we
purely
know
a
of.
TV. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't even know if they have a direct connection with
the creation.
yeah. Like I don't. It's such a weird thing. I don't see how they could or would.
Yeah.
I think George Martin said the White Walkers are like elemental elves. They're a different species.
Mm-hmm.
So that they're not. I don't think they're constructs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they
Well,
came
'cause
when the planet needed them.
Well, in the books compared to the TV series, they're not like a mindless horde of zombies. They've got
No,
personality.
they
They,
got communication. Yeah,
they talk like ice breaking. They
Yeah.
laugh.
they
That
laughed
shows.
at Royce.
Yeah, it shows that they've got something
They're
there
not.
more. Yeah,
They're not mindless. Like we must kill all humans. No, they're looking. We find out. I mean, we've talked about it on this channel, and you could probably find the episode early in our talking on this channel about A Song of Ice and Fire. Royce they were searching for most likely Jon Snow when they found Royce. If you look at how they explain Royce in the opening, I always forget the name of what they call the opening chapter, the prelude. No, the
prologue.
prologue. Thank you. In the prologue, Royce is, gray eyes, features are almost exactly like John's, with a pretty beautiful broadsword, and they froze, no pun intended, the White Walkers. They froze when he pulled his sword, thinking this might be the sword we're scared of. And then when they realized it wasn't, they laughed and taunted him and belittled him until they killed him. I mean, this is not an element. It's an elemental elf, but they are, like you said, they have their own society, their own customs, their own beliefs. And we see a bit of that the very first chapter you read in the book. And then we don't see from them again for a very long time. It's pretty interesting what he did. I mean, you got to give it to George. You give us something like that, and then we don't see it for, I think, 2 more books. Right?
It's almost like it's not even a part of the story.
Right. Something separate. Yeah. But getting back to the Andals, after the first men adopted the religion of the children, it really became a huge connecting fabric between men and nature in the North. I mean, it completely brought them to worship, not just worship the trees, but respect the woods, respect their land. They're very nature bound people. And then you get fragmented kingdoms after that. So by the time the Andals arrive, Westeros is fractured. It's just not 7 kingdoms. It's dozens of petty kingdoms ruled by independently, like the Storm King, Kings of the Rock, the Gardeners of the Reach, the Kings of the North, the Aarons. You get all these different titles, and they were ripe for conquest, just as they were once a dragon showed up, but before a dragon, steel showed up. So what are the origins of the Andals? There are some people that have different views on it. The Andals came from a region called Andalos near the Bravasi coast, north of the Ronar, whatever you want to call
Rona.
it. Thank you.
Mother Rona in her river.
Yeah, it's spelled Rhoyne. So I don't know why I say Ronar, but the Ronar are the people, the Mother Ronan, whatever. It was the mountainous region that became overcrowded and politically unstable. Now the mythology is about Hugor of the Hill and the Seven. According to legend, Hugor of the Hill received a vision from a 7-faced god. He wore a golden laurel and sired many kids, Hugor of the Hill, each founding noble lines. The faith of the seven emerged from this mythology, and Hugo the Hills saw a golden land that they were supposed to be given by their gods, which was Westeros. So
Yeah, they were
whether
promised it 300 years ago. It's a holy land.
it's a holy land, but was it a practical move or was it religion? Whether, because it was inspired by faith, maybe, or driven by overpopulation and persecution of the Andals in their home region, and lack of available land, the Andals sought new territory. The decline of Valyrian attention in the West may have created a power vacuum too. So as the Valyrians started to kind of lose some of their grip on their satellite cities, you had the Ronar acting up and all this and that. Different areas were destabilized. And I think that's really the reason why the Andals left. And Hugo of the Hill is kind of like the Gardener Kings. They all are from Green. What's his name? The gardener, the first gardener, something Green or Green.
Garrett.
Garrett.
Garth
Garrett,
Greenhand.
Garth Green.
Yeah.
Garth Green Hand, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
It's all starts with this very virile, potent man that had a lot of children and a lot of noble families can get their lineage back to this one predecessor. I think really what their big advantage were iron weapons, and they were able to build ships, which we see that George most likely took the Andals from the Vikings, maybe a little bit from like the Saxons, but it was mostly the Vikings. They possessed iron weapons superior to the bronze used by the first men, and their shipbuilding skills were far more advanced than the first men ever could be, because they crossed by land and made little like canoes to go up the coast. These guys had a tactical advantage to do a sea to land invasion. I really did some work on this one, boys. And where did they land? They landed in the Vale. So the first place they land is in the Fingers. The Andals get the Fingers. Wonka wonka. The first Andal ships made landfall in the Fingers, a coastal region in the Vale. Initially, attacks were sporadic, but soon escalated into full-scale invasions. Now, there have been other myths that certain people came before them. Andals, there's like somebody the Orange or something. We'll get into her later. Whoa. But it could have been 6,000 years ago. It could have been 4. It's more likely 4,000 years ago. But there's also, and we'll talk about a little later, the Maesters might have fudged some history there to make the Andals look good.
What? No
I know
way.
the Maesters, crazy, right?
That's crazy. And here's the thing, like going back to what you were saying also before about with the Children of the Forest, like if they were as powerful and as enemies, wouldn't they be going after the faith of the Seven? Because they spit in the face of everything that they stand for.
Yeah. That's religion, crusades, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, like, and
growing up a good Catholic for 22 years of, I went to school at a Catholic school for 22 years, and
long time to be at school.
It was Our Lady of Al Capone.
LA, exactly.
Yeah.
But and most of them were across the street from Chicago, and one was in Chicago. But in all those years, I don't think I ever experienced a non-biased review of the Crusades. It was always the Holy Roman Empire against these evil, just thugs that came in and tried to, capture and take over Israel. Heathens, there you go.
Yeah.
Heathen's a better term. But there was never a story from the side of the Arabs that were in the area for probably just as long.
right, who were very advanced in science and medicine, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Solomon, right? Solomon or something. I watched that movie.
The one
Wait,
with Legolas.
Legolas,
Yeah,
man, he
that's the one I
kicks.
was thinking of. Yeah,
I don't know why he dyed his hair though, but anyways,
Kingdom,
Legolas
Kingdom,
still kicked
King,
ass.
Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah. So
But
yeah, go ahead.
so so you're saying like with the Maesters, obviously they're doing it through their own lens. So what do you think was the real story? Whether it's 2000, why would they change it so much just for the sake of? I mean, you're talking about 2,000 years difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference. But let's not forget we may be living in 17 something right now. Or no, it'd be like early 1800s now. There is a big conspiracy that I don't know if I covered yet on aluminum spork, but the Roman or the King of France, I think it was the King of France, not the Roman Emperor, King of France, and the Pope at that time wanted to be the Pope and the King of the year 1000. And it was supposedly like year 700 something. And that's some people believe Charlemagne was just a manifestation of their stories to get them to year 1000.
No, he's a rapper.
Yeah, he's a really, really, yeah, he is. French too, which is weird. But no, it's Germanic. I don't know which one. But it's like, they did that just so they can. So there's supposedly like this dark age of like the dark ages really never were. There was no such thing. It's just they created a hero, and then year 1000, yay, year of our Lord. He's coming back now.
Well, here's the problem with that. Christopher Lee is a direct descendant of Charlemagne.
Yeah, there are quite a few, but yeah, Christopher Lee. I mean, I would believe him whatever he says. He scares me.
He should have been Gandalf.
He should have been Gandalf. You're absolutely right.
You know who could have made a good Saruman if Christopher Lee had played Gandalf? Terrence Stamp, the guy who plays Zod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
He also played a drag queen in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He also has that kick-ass voice.
Yeah, he does.
He has big boobs in that.
Yeah, he did take the name. You're right, 11 Alpha, from like the Germanic tribe, the Vandals, which we get vandalism and a vandal is still dating back from that. But the people were they are a Germanic tribe, but I think with the sea conquest and stuff like that, he was taking a lot from the Vikings and their attack on England, the UK, as they would call it. Praise Garth. I'm with you on that. Yeah, the Vandals, the Gauls. Don't forget about the hooligan. No, not the hooligans. Oh my God, that was so stupid. There's another one we use as a derogatory term that attacked Rome. The Vandals. You'll tell me.
The Jesuits?
No. Be careful with those guys. They're like the Maesters. What's up, Adam? Good to see you, man. Long time. Back to the first major battle between the Vandals. The Vandals. Oh my God. The Andals and the First Men. So that was called the Battle of the Seven Stars. And that was King Robar's second Royce rallied the First Men clans to repel the invasion. After a prolonged...
It was also bronze versus steel. That was the big thing, yeah.
Right. And they wore the bronze runes and everything. I got that confused at the beginning of this. You're so right.
They still do.
Yeah, they still do. You're right. Though I think it's made out of steel now. They do have like the bronze one, but that's only like decorative. When they fight, it's actually a steel one to look like bronze. But it was a prolonged conflict, and actually Artis Aaron emerged victorious. He established House Aaron as the ruler of the Vale. He claimed to be a descendant of Hugo of the Hill. So there you go. The Aarons are the first Vandal noble kings in Westeros.
Vandal or Andal?
Andal. Damn, I keep saying Vandal now. Thanks a lot, 11 Alpha. And then we go with, of course, anytime someone wins, religious conversion and destruction. So as the Andals conquered, they destroyed weirwood groves and converted local populations to the faith of the Seven. Weirwoods were cut down and septs built in their place, just like, I don't know, the Spanish when they would destroy a place in South America, they would build on top of it a church. And there's actually a church down in, forget where exactly in South America. They just found like a pyramid below it, pretty much. They covered it and built a church on top of it. It's like the oldest church in existence, still actively running in the Americas, and it's actually on top of an ancient pyramid, which is kind of neat. So then you have my next part is I titled The Faith and the Flame. So the Faith of the Seven has a tool of conquest. The Andals didn't just fight with steel, they fought with scripture. The faith became a weapon of a colonization. Yes, colonization, people. Septs and septons traveled with armies. I mean, this is going now with crusades. You have, a holy order, which comes up then. You have the warrior son and the faith militia. That you start with sept and septas traveling with the armies, then you get your own army brigades. Armed religious orders like the Knights Templar were created to enforce conversion and fight in a holy battles. These warrior monks spread the faith throughout conquered lands.
And a lot of the ones that were there, they were also warriors within themselves. They weren't just pure priests. They were
a lot of times
yes.
nobles that gave up their last names. Yeah.
So that they were frontline fighters as well.
Yeah, they were actually warriors or knights that became monks in a way, just like the Templars. And one of the things they did best is suppress the old gods. The old gods were labeled heretical. Their worshippers were either killed or forced to convert. Over time, only the North retained devotion to the old ways. I mean, you think about how big Westeros is. A little over half was either killed or converted.
Why do you think the North was the one that was able to keep the old ways?
The neck. It's the neck, man. It protects
it's just
them
the
from
Andals
invasion.
just never got that far.
Yeah. They couldn't get deep enough in. And once they got through the neck and they got beat down there, you had a northern army led by the King of the North that would just defeat them, which was awesome. And we'll get to that because you have next, they went for the Riverlands, the Westerlands, and the Reach. So Christopher the Fourth and the fall of the River Kings. So House Mud of the Riverlands resisted the Andal tide. Christopher IV fought 100 battles but fell, leading to the end of the First Men's control there. In the Westerlands, the Lannisters.
That's unlucky, falling on your 100th battle.
That really sucks.
Yeah, it's like I wanted to get that triple figures out of the way,
and they wouldn't even. Nah. Yeah, but how do you even celebrate after the cake was made and everything? It was like they had to switch it to 99 and 1. It sucks, man. The Lannisters, possibly descended from Land the Clever, embraced the Andals through marriage and diplomacy. They retained power by adapting quickly. Of course, they're scumbags. The Gardeners of the Reach accepted Andal lords into their courts, married into them, and relatively bloodless transition allowed the Reach to become an Andal stronghold. The Andals culture brought feudal society, the concept of knighthood, and a heretical, a hierarchical. Thank you. Social order that persists in Westeros up until this day.
Well, that's why in certain spots the people are knights, and in other parts that they're not considered knights.
Yeah, right. Now we get to Dorne, and Dorne was only half conquered because of the harsh desert and guerrilla warfare Dorne was really difficult to conquer. Andal House is settled, but many native customs remain. So, and still you have one First Man house too. The Danes are so important to this story. And
how the hell is Dawn not like the superpower? He can't be conquered. Everyone that's tried has fucked up.
With dragons.
They had dragons, and they were, yeah, we got caves.
And we killed a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty badass. So the Dorne retained Rhonish and First Man traditions. The faith never fully replaced the worship of local gods and customs. The Andals invaded the Isles, but were eventually absorbed into the old way. The Drowned God religion endured, and the Ironborn culture grew harsher. So the Andals actually got sucked in by the Iron Islands. We were talking about that earlier, and I was like, no, they kept their ways. No, I thought a couple of the islands went Andal. There are some septs here and there, but that was because Theon's dad allowed that. But the minute he was dead, I think they started trashing those too. So the Iron Islands stayed strong. And then the North never failed. And they never
always
fell
remembered.
either. Yeah. So Moat Cailin in the neck. The narrow and swampy neck made southern armies vulnerable. Moat Cailin, a fortified choke point, prevented Andal penetration. Oh yeah. No Andal penetration. By the time House Stark had become a dominant power, they defeated several Andal incursions and maintained the worship of the old gods. Harsh winters and rugged terrain made the North uninviting. Andal settlers found it easier just to move south. So, and that's really where we are today. The main story. You have some really Andal heavy areas, except in Dorne, which do have Andal customs, the Iron Islands, and the North. Everywhere else really became Andal culture. So we'll get to some of the fan theories and conspiracies. And I was talking about the timeline inflation theory. Some fans argue that the Andals invasion happened much more recently, only around 2,000 years ago, and that the 6,000 year figure is a myth. I didn't get too deep into that one, but we can if you want.
Full Andal penetration. Let's go.
Yeah, we might do it then. Conspiracy theorists claim the Citadel downplayed magical events, rewrote Andal histories, and painted the Faith of the Seven in a better light to suppress the old ways. So it really was a Maester.
It makes sense, but the people who are writing history get to dictate what happens. So
right.
But you've also got to say, okay, yes, they've done that, but to what advantage? What happened in those 2,000 to 4,000 years that they don't want people to know about?
Well, I don't know if it's that. I think they want to make people believe that the Andals have been there for so long. Like, there's no way.
Okay, so you're saying
there could be like a comeback of the old ways.
Right, so you're saying like, well, we're actually more traditional than the First Men because we've been here for 30,000 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Technically, we are the First Men. We always were.
So what are you thinking? Yeah, pretty much.
And it's also the easiest way to make the North sound like these primitive savages, as opposed to respecting their, military prowess.
Right. That's a good way of doing it too. Yeah, you're right. God, we're all awesome at this.
Sorry, I still can't get past Andal penetration.
I like it. So you also have a conspiracy. There are whispers that the children survived. We don't know yet. People mostly don't know, at least we do. In remote areas like the Isles of Faces. Some fans believe they are biding their time and waiting for vengeance. But we'll go a little deeper into the Maesters because I like the timeline one too. It just something about it. I want to know more.
It's the most plausible one that requires the least amount of headcanon.
Right.
I think that's why it's more popular because They could just say, like, we've been here for 2,000 years, and someone says, make it 4.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Tydos Blackwood ain't buying shit. Dorn is a resource poor for all their independent mindedness. They needed trade with the Seven Kingdoms and were forced to compromise. But their compromise was you were marrying into the Targaryen bloodline. So
yeah,
you got to say that's not a bad one.
And I still think the modern Dawn at the moment is still looking to restore the Targaryen into power.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what not Tristane, fucking
yeah. Martell.
Yeah. Fucking the one
dad.
that they killed off stupidly in the TV series.
The one that can't stand up.
It's just got gout.
He's got gout, man. He's got gout.
Too much tomato-rich diet.
Yeah, so a little deeper into that, they about the year thing. They point to inconsistencies in records and the suspiciously neat symmetry of ancient dates, noting that Westeros scholars may have retroactively extended the timeline to create a grander, more mythical past, like we were saying. These theories propose that the supposed 6,000-year gap was invented by Maesters or Septons to legitimize Andal rule by portraying it as an ancient and ordained. They also highlight the scarcity of written records from the Dawn Age and the early Andal periods, suggesting that oral tradition was distorted over time to serve the political and religious narrative of the present. If true, this would mean that the supposed Age of Heroes and the Andal conquest may have overlapped, or that some of the most legendary figures of Westeros were contemporaries rather than ancestors, such as relativization would dramatically compress Westeros historical timeline and shake the foundation of how the Seven Kingdoms understands their origins. Now going into the Maesters, they shape the narrative.
So
yeah,
Bran the Builder was actually around 400 years ago,
pretty much, or maybe like 6. So according to the Maester conspiracy, the Maesters deliberately minimized or excluded references to magical events, green seer activity, and the deeper significance of the old gods to reinforce their rational, secular worldview. Some suggest that the Citadel rewrote or suppressed historical records to cast the faith of the Seven as the civilizing force, while portraying the old ways as barbaric and outdated. There are even whispers that entire texts chronicling resistance by First Men and magical beings were either hidden in restricted libraries or destroyed outright. Because let's not forget, there were still giants. There was still the children of the forest. There were, skin changing and skin walkers and unicorns and oh my. The faith of the Seven in this theory became not only a tool of conquest for the Andals, but also a convenient ideological partner for the Maesters' long-term goal, stamping out magic and mystery in favor of reason and control. We've been talking about that for years here. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
We've done more talking than Gurm has done writing.
I think so.
That's not true. He's been writing so much stuff, just not on anything to do with Winds of Winter.
Yeah. And then let's not forget the faith as a political tool rather than a divine truth. I mean, the faith seems to go hand in hand with the Maesters and with the Andal lords in the present story.
Because they're the ones that control the knowledge. That's the whole point of it. Like
both sides, too. Yeah.
But back in the day, the church and the Vatican and all that was not just a religious center of the world. It was the intelligence as well. Like that's
Well,
where,
yeah, if you were going to school,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, they were the only ones that were allowed to write,
yeah.
for the longest time. So rather than divine truth, the faith of the seven may have been intentionally weaponized as a means of socio-political control. As the Andals swept through Westeros, uniting uh, disparate clans and petty kings under a single religion helped stabilize their rule and justify conquest. By introducing a rigid moral code and centralized worship of the seven, Andal leaders can claim divine right to rule while simultaneously undermining the spiritual authority of the old gods and local traditions. The faith served to legitimize Andal noble bloodlines through tales of Hugo the Hill, while Septons provided spiritual justification for the violent displacement of the first men. Furthermore, the faith structure, with its hierarchy of septons, septas, and the high septon, mirrored Andal-style feudalism and allowed religious doctrine to reinforce political order. In this way, religious conversion wasn't merely a byproduct of conquest, but a calculated pillar of colonial assimilation.
It was also something you had to earn.
ChatGPT. What?
What?
Huh? What? Okay, let's go on.
All right, so I
Legacy.
got a little bit of a theory when it comes to the faith of seven. I have had it for a while because when you look at all the different, like the gods and everything like that, they are so varied and different. And I think that was the whole point of it. I think when they overtook a place, they took part of someone's religion. Go, you know what? This your god that you're worshiping actually always was a god of the seven. We call this one the
Right.
stranger,
Right.
because it's like that. You've always been worshiping the faith of the seven. You just didn't realize it.
You were worshiping one face of the
Yeah,
seven.
yeah, and I think that's a big part of it. That's why each of them are so varied and everything like that. And it
Well, they
covers.
cover all grounds.
That's the point. Yeah, like yeah.
You have the mother, the crone, the maid. Ladies are taken care of. So if you're worshiping any female deity, she
Yeah.
falls under one of those three.
Yeah.
And if you were a man, the smith, the knight, or wait a minute, the smith, the father.
Stranger.
No, there's one more. 3 ladies, 3
Warrior.
guys. The warrior. Thank you. I said the knight, but it's the warrior. And they use that term instead of knight, even though that's what they believe in, being knighted. They use warrior because you're going to get right.
It's more of a global term.
Yeah.
A warrior could be a kid that stands up to an abusive father.
Yeah.
It's just
what?
Huh?
Anyways, what? Medications needed. No, what I was going to say was, my question is, and I think this is what you're saying is, did the Faith of the Seven come with the Andals, or was it created conquering Westeros?
I think,
and then we got this story that he saw from the Faith of the Seven that this golden land was waiting for him.
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
Yeah, me too.
I definitely think it's something like, because if it was something that was come up, we would have seen it everywhere else beforehand.
Yeah.
And there's been no mention of it, except for once they started to invade the motherland, the Holy Land, whatever they want to call it.
Right.
The Golden Land.
The Golden, yeah, I believe that's what they call
Shower,
it.
yeah.
Shower land. Andal, Golden Shower. Like, these guys are perverted. And it's repressed religious belief. I think that's why he's called them all that. It wasn't about the Vandals. It's about repressed religious beliefs. That's why they're
all the Andals.
The Golden Land. There's a couple other ones in there. You never know. And we lost.
There isn't any evidence prior to it in Essos. That's the point.
Right. We hear the story. But there's no definitive
Definitive.
Thank you guys. I love you guys. Proof that it came from Essos.
No,
They
because
came from Essos, and then this religion wrapped around them.
look at all the religious stuff that's over in Essos. None of it has anything to do with the Seven.
Right, dude. Wouldn't you think at least north of Bravos there would be the faith of the Seven? But I don't think I've ever heard of anybody in Essos practicing the faith of the Seven. All right, let me check that.
Not that I can think of.
I think it just goes to the historical past. But let me go on something else while that's doing its thinking. So, cultural reshaping, legacy of the Holy War. Most of the southern Westeros now follow Andal customs, but the extent of this transformation reaches deeper than surface level institutions. Inheritance laws shifted from the more flexible or clan-based traditions of the First Men to a rigid male preference primogeniture. I said that right? Common among Andal lords, centralizing power within noble families and creating long-lasting dynasties. Knighthood, once non-existent in Westeros, became not just a military role, but a cultural archetype, shaping everything from storytelling to song to social aspiration. More than anything, the spread of the faith of the Seven embedded a system of moral divine judgment. Moral divine judgment. I lost my place. Into daily life, influencing marriage, crime, gender roles, and governance. Even noble identity became entwined with Andal legacy. As houses that claim Andal bloodlines rose in status and legitimacy. Over time, the original custom of the First Men were overwritten or absorbed, leading to a homogenized culture in the South that, to this day, reflects the Andal worldview far more than that of Westeros' origin and original inhabitants. I mean, the Andals changed everything about Westeros, except for the North, really. Even in I read, the Ironborn, they absorbed Andals, but they even became harsher because of it. The only people that weren't truly infected or affected were the North. I mean, Dorne was affected, the Iron Islands, and every bit of Westeros other than the North. And that's because the Children of the Forest broke the neck of Dorne, the neck, and created that marshland. And it actually, in trying to stop the First Men from spreading, what they really did was stop the Andals from invading the North from the First Men, taking it from them. It's kind of funny. It backfired on the children, but it saved the First Men in the North. So, a North-South divide. The North's resistance to the Andal conquest wasn't merely a military success. It was a preservation of an entire culture worldview. While the South was reshaped by the Andal customs, feudal structures, and the faith of the Seven, the North remained rooted in the ancient traditions of the First Men. The continued worship of the old gods, the maintenance of the weirwood groves, and a deep reverence for ancestral bloodlines created a society vastly different from the rest of Westeros. This divergence is evident in everything from legal traditions to gender roles, from warfare to fate. The North retained communal laws over Andal inheritance codes, fostered loyalty to ancient lineage like the Starks, and nurtured a Stark honored-bound warrior ethos distinct from Southern knighthood. Even in language and superstitions, the North preserved an older, wilder identity. This enduring separation laid the groundwork for centuries of misunderstanding and mistrust, one that echoes into the time of the current narrative, as seen in the cultural tension between Stark honor and Southern politics. The North didn't just survive; it endured a living it endured as a living relic of the Westeros that might have been. And then the Tullys came to the North. And what happened then? A sept was built in Winterfell. So the faith was there. They started saying by the old gods and the new. So is it really still to this day Andal free? No, Caitlin Stark put it up for everybody.
You know, someone just told me. You know the others, which are basically the White Walkers.
Mm-hmm.
What if that is? What if it means the others as in they belong to the other?
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah. I always just assumed the great other was their god.
Yeah, like it's it's not the others as in the other people.
Yeah,
but it's the others.
Like they fight for the others.
Yeah, like yours.
Yeah,
the others. So it's like owned by the other.
Yeah. Earlier, I had like who I thought what the great other was, and I just blanked completely. And it was a good one, guys. You would have really been proud of me. Hopefully it comes back to me. I think I solved it and then I forgot. That felt dumb. What do you mean, Stig? What are you saying, Grant? Could it be like Abrahamic religions by the New Testament era? It's unrecognizable to what Abraham was doing. Yeah, that's a good point. Or the Protestant Reformation. They're the Vandals. Oh God, the Andals. Every time I see you 11 Alpha, now I'm going to say Vandals. It definitely holds true where you have maybe not the Protestant Reformation, because they were trying to take out all the grandeur and what it was deteriorating the Roman Empire, or the Catholic Roman Empire. But with the Andals, they were invading pieces of garbage. And thank God the North stood firm. That's what I say. So yes, the faith of this is what I read, but again, you have the origins they say is from Andalos with the faith of the seven. They said they walked among them in the hills of Andalos and promised them great kingdom in a foreign land, which is given to reason for the Andals' migration to Westeros. It's all bullshit. However, despite its origins, the widespread practice and influence of the faith of the seven is primarily in Westeros. It's just a Westerosi phenomenon. Boom. There is very limited presence in Essos. Bravos, the city of Bravos, founded by escaped slaves of various lands and faiths, honor all gods. So yeah, of course they have a sept beyond the sea or whatever. And then in other free cities, they may have like a sept, but there's no like stronghold like there is in Westeros. Because even Pentos is noted to have considerable Andal blood, but it didn't translate into the faith of the seven. Right? They have red priests in Pentos. So it was all bullshit. We just figured it out, guys. So for my short, the Andals created the faith of the seven to justify their conquest of Westeros, and created the actual seven while they were in Westeros to help them convert local traditions and local gods into their own gods. The warrior. Oh yeah, a lot of people, they believe in a warrior god. Well, we got one. Oh, a crone that teaches you life lessons? Yeah, we got one of them too. Oh, the maid, you worship a young virgin? We got that too. Oh, death? We got the stranger.
And the one that doesn't fit anything, the stranger as well.
Exactly. This
but
creation,
they don't have any trees. That's the reason why the old ways couldn't be converted across.
Exactly, and that's why they tore them down in the south.
Yeah,
I mean, it answers its own question. Pentos is strong in Andal blood, yet it doesn't follow the faith of the seventh. It follows the red priests. So that tells you it was never there in Essos.
No,
it was never there.
Here's the thing: if it was there, then it's got torn down. Then why haven't they gone over there and gone? Well, this is the home of our religion.
Right.
Where's their biggest temple? Where's their biggest monuments to it?
100%, man. We just figured that out.
Take that, Preston.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob. Bam. No, Preston, you can cover it. Just give me a shout out. Red Team Review. You got it too, brother.
It'll be on in 3 days. You watch.
I hope so. I don't even need a shout out. Oh no, just a wink. Maybe a wink. I mean, I have stolen a couple of your topics because they're really good. So whatever. In the myth, 7-pointed star is star of the Fae, referred to as the fairy star or the elven star, as a symbol of the shining realms, represents sphere of Venus, and considered to be the key to the hidden realm. I love your stuff. That is kind of cool. Faith militants too. Echoes in modern Westeros. We have the faith militant returns, religious zealots, widespread tension over religious authority, all trace their roots to the Andal legacy. The very notion that religion and governance should be intertwined with divine moral order, dictated law, and policy was born out of the Andal conquest. The faith of the seven not only persists, but evolved into an institution that could rival the Iron Throne in influence. As seen during the rise of the Sparrows and the reestablishment of the faith militant, conflicts such as the religious persecution of heretics, the political elevation of septons, and the strict enforcement of moral codes by religious zealots all echo the original Andal campaign to reshape Westeros in the image of their gods.
And didn't the faith militant carve the same 7-pointed star in their forehead than the Andal warriors did?
Yep.
Or Andal knights, I mean?
Yep. Yeah, the Andal knights then, faith militant now. Yes.
It's also a form of control. Like that's probably half the reason that they view bastards as lower than what it was, because you had to have got married, and to get married you have to go through their religious thing so they can control the population through that.
Yeah.
So you shit on people if their parents weren't married. So therefore you're like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure I definitely get married in front of a proper priest and all that. And
right, because my kids will never elevate beyond me.
Yeah.
Right. It's true. So the culture memory of these early holy wars never truly faded. Instead, it was institutionalized. Even in the modern timeline, the seven grips on the nobility, small folk, and legal system underscores the enduring power of an invasion that was not just physical, but spiritual and ideological, one whose flames were never truly extinguished. So to wrap it all up on that one, the Andal invasion was not merely a migration or military conquest or even a crusade. It was a cultural upheaval, a systematic transformation that redefined the spiritual, social, or maybe it was a crusade, spiritual, social, and political DNA of Westeros. It wasn't just swords and ships that reshaped the land, but ideas, belief systems, and institutions. The old gods were not simply replaced, they were demonized, their worship criminalized, their sacred groves desecrated. Oral history and regional traditions were suppressed, overwritten by unified Andal narratives, sanctified through the faith of the seven. This holy war.
That's why they were so scared of Maegor, because he was doing the same thing to them that they did to everyone else.
Yes. Yeah, in a way. or he just wasn't taking their bullshit. This holy war cemented a power structure that blended religious authority with noble lineage, forging a South that continues to reflect the Andal worldview in its legal codes, gender roles, and class systems. Its legacy is not confined to ancient maps or crumbling septs. It echoes in every trial by faith, every prayer at a sept, every knight's vow, and every whisper against heresy. The Andal conquest was nothing less than the first great act of historical erasure and the foundation of a new Westeros built not just on blood, but on belief. Thank you. Hey, stop. Stop yourselves. That was a good one, right? I did pretty good.
Yeah,
Excellent independent research.
Totally independent.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
ChatGPT helped me a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Oh my God. My son, he's a TA. He had like 150 students this summer for his chemistry classes. One of the kids kept cheating each week, and he was cheating so badly using ChatGPT that he didn't delete the prompt and then the powered by ChatGPT statement at the bottom of it. It's like he just typed it in, got the answer, highlighted it up, pasted it right in. It was hysterical.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
Sorry.
Oh man. I mean, I had to type. So
exactly.
Yeah. I think we found something really powerful in this episode, though. The idea that the Faith of the Seventh was created in Westeros. Well, maybe not. Okay.
It was created to conquer Westeros.
It was created to conquer Westeros. It was created to unify. It was created to destroy and really monopolize the gods that were already there and created a 7. That's why they needed 7. Because 6 wouldn't have done, like Grant said. The stranger was needed to throw in like that little extra, like, oh yeah, your guy's really, well, it's a goat that, has a pig dong. It's the stranger. Don't worry about it.
He wears a cloak. We don't know what he looks like. He could be a goat.
That's the point of the stranger. He hides himself. He moves in mysterious ways, but he's always there.
Oh yeah, man. I read a story once where Damon found an innocuous law that would make a register of births, marriage, and deaths for tax purposes. He saw it was actually a way for the faith to take more power. 100%. Maegor should be held up as, okay, maybe not a saint, but as the savior of Westeros at that time.
Yeah, because the moment that Aegon died, the faith started going back. All right, we're going to take it all back, and he was the one. Like, I mean, single-handedly went down there and killed fucking like 10 or 15 of them on the fucking battlefield, and got his head crushed in.
Yeah,
survived.
Yep. And they history goes to the Maesters. Not even to the winners. History goes to the Maesters.
That's why fucking Otto Hightower has this stick up his ass about people being like Maegor, because to him that's the worst guy ever.
Yeah,
he was against our religion. That's my home. I mean, because the center of a religion is his
Old Town.
Is his house? Yeah,
yeah. It blows my mind that people don't realize that too. Maegor saved what little freedom they had from the Maesters and the Faith. The one thing the Targaryens could be said is they believed in religious freedom. Yes, they followed some of the 7th customs, but if they wanted to bang their sister, they wanted to bang their sister, and the 7th wasn't going to tell them they couldn't.
I mean, the sisters were never ugly, so that kind of helped.
Yeah. They were pretty hot. And their DNA was like godlike in a way. If you think about it, the only bad thing, they didn't have like deformities really. All they had were like, okay, you're a little nuts.
Well, they might have had little
up
nuts.
Until Tyrion.
Huh?
Up until Tyrion, the dwarf.
No.
Oh, that's right, because we don't know that he's
He's a Lannister.
Targaryen.
Yeah, he's not.
That's
He's
true.
not Targaryen.
He's not Targaryen. Anybody who said that, we've come to their understanding he can't be, because the worst thing he could be is Tywin's son. Like, that makes the story even better. If you think about it, like, why would George make him a secret Targaryen? Because in a way that would make, like, oh my God, I'm a secret Targaryen. He's not my daddy.
Another secret Targaryen.
Well,
another one, another secret, another prince. It's
not even that though. You know, like Tywin wants to believe he's not his son, but the truth of the fact is he is.
He says, "I've got no proof that you're not my son."
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you get to be my heir.
Right. Yeah. Right. 11 Alpha. True. Becky, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
Well, that's the thing. Like the Targaryens in the show are just like blonde.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, not the beautiful purple eyes and not the silver hair. You know,
not the semi-immunity to sickness and disease and
right, and a little bit of that. Okay, we could take more heat than most. Not, we're not fireproof.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that always bothered me about what they did in fucking season 6 of.
Oh yeah,
of it with when she burnt down
that
made no sense.
No sense.
Let's just assume that they're 100% right. That okay, she can't get burnt. She still needs to breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what else? What kills me too is the first one was a woman who truly believed this act was important. She needed to do this, and she knew that she was going to live. The one in the 6th season was, I can't, these guys have been really rude to me. I'm going to kill every one of them. You know?
I am a woman.
Yeah, it was total whammon. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time when I watched it, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. And then I'm just like, huh, does she not need to breathe?
Yeah. But that's in the first one too, man. I mean, she walks into a funeral pyre.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying this one's indoors. All the smoke's being trapped in there as well.
That is true. Yeah. It's even worse. It's even worse. That's a good one. That's funny. Oh God, you and your Browns. Patriots are coming back this year. We're gonna make 3rd place in the division. Oh, I'm sorry.
If I could spend weeks at Cubs training camp, I would be doing it and bragging to the world.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
So,
me too. Not Cubs though, but me too.
Yeah,
I went to a White Sox game once when I was a kid. That was fun.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And I'll be in Buffalo in November to see Paul McCartney.
Sweet.
Yeah, it all depends, because right now tickets may be around. We bought them, and now they're about $3,000 more than what we paid, and just rising. So you never know. We might just go there to see the falls
and scalp them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Beforehand.
Not bad. Yeah, I wanted to go see Heart in concert this summer, but $200 a ticket, just couldn't do it. So
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we got our refund on our Ozzy Osbourne tickets.
Oh, that's Ozzy. Yeah, in the books, Adam's right. All her hair burns off.
Yep. All her hair.
All of it. Okay. Could A Song of Ice and Fire parallel Underworld timeline heresy? Oh. Discuss. I like that.
The fact that the books and even the show stresses that Targaryens have been burned to death before.
Yeah.
That's kind of a hint that Daenerys didn't survive on that pyre.
Well, that too.
Something supernatural happened there.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a whole war where they were getting burnt to death by each other. Dragon fire.
Right.
Not to mention, it's just like, I'm going to become a dragon. What are you going to do? I'm going to drink fire.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
Cool plan. How'd that work out?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, though, Stig. It's like, did she even survive? Here on this channel, we believe she didn't. We believe she's a fire white, and she doesn't even realize it.
Yeah.
You know, let's think about it. Dundarian knew he died, knew the fire brought him back multiple times, but probably didn't consider himself a fire white. He still considered himself, but he kept losing
Well,
himself.
I mean, here's the thing. He might have considered it at one stage. You just can't remember it now.
Right. Like every time he came back, it was a little less him, right?
Yeah.
Lady Stoneheart, she
Do
may
you-
not even realize what's going on.
Do
Well,
you think there's going to be a divide with, like, because you brought back a guy who's doing, you know, justice, giving justice to the land, and now well, technically you didn't bring her back, but he brought Lady Stoneheart back, and now she's
Right.
just going around being a murder machine,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Oh,
doesn't.
she probably has a plan.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, if I'm the guy that has that sort of ability to bring people back and do all that, that would fundamentally go against everything that we're trying to do. We're trying to help people of the land, not go around and do a revenge plot.
Right.
I think what's going to happen is I think that Stoneheart's not going to make it out of the first chapter or two in the next book.
Right.
I think she's going to get killed when they're going to try and kill Jamie.
Yeah.
I think something will happen then.
What if you have the Azor Ahai thing, the Nissa thing, where a sword is stabbed into her and that fire goes into the sword?
That could work.
Yeah, that could. I mean, you brought that up a couple weeks ago, and I thought that was really interesting. Like, and it would be kind of funny that she would be the Nissa to John because he hates her and she hates him. So it's not love. Like the story tried to make you think, like, oh, it was love.
Ooh.
No, you needed the fire within. You didn't need.
It was
the
about
love.
two people that had a really strong, passionate relationship, whether it be hateful,
Positive,
loving,
right.
positive. Yeah, it's just, you know, there was definitely strong emotions there.
I kind of want to know what this show he's talking about right now is. I love vampire shows. I like what Sunny.
I don't remember the name of the show, but I remember the show being that. Like I watched it, but
Google it, people. Sunny Frank. I like this. I think that many of the characters are really dead and have been resurrected. That's an interesting one, Sunny.
I've been going back and I just watched season 6 again because, yeah, Patchface definitely.
Danny. Okay, let's think about this. Danny.
Yeah.
Dundarian. Lady Stoneheart. Patchface. The Mountain.
Jon Snow eventually.
Jon Snow eventually.
And I think Melisandre.
Yeah, we don't know
Bran.
I mean, even to an extent, potentially fucking the Hound.
Cold Hands too.
Yeah.
But Bran could have been dead and he came back.
Well, how about this though? Everyone on the Iron Islands given their little baptism.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. They've all
actually die, and what is dead may never die because they're already fucking dead.
Yeah, that's true. Just comes back harder.
Yeah,
because of rigor mortis.
Which would, you know, if that has like a white effect, that would make them really loyal to their cause.
Yes. Well, look at the Dampier. Or Dampier. Why do I always call him the Dampier? Because for about 10 years, that's what I thought his name was.
Well, also you pronounce Dothraki wrong as well.
What do I say?
You say Dothraki, it's Dothraki. That's how George pronounces it that way. The Dothraki, yeah.
But he doesn't pronounce it right. So Dothraki.
What does he know?
Right, what does he know, right?
Yeah.
Davos in the water when he was praying on the rock. Yeah, dude, Sonny, that's a good one. Shit, how many people are dead?
But then he stopped being Davos and he turned into Dave.
Yeah. What about oh god, what's his name? Loris. Loris might come back. and he was like supposedly burned and all this.
Okay, it was literally someone who was burnt that we still think he's alive. Martel, the dragon. So
yeah, Quentin. Jeez, dude. I'm dead and I know it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm dead. I know. Oh. I was thinking something completely different. Yeah, that's interesting. That was a good one though. But we're gonna wrap it up. Hopefully we'll be back Thursday for an aluminum sport. But tonight we're gonna wrap up this one. Thank you guys for being here. That was a lot of fun. It was our most. I feel like it was our most directed and stayed on point one we've ever done. So
yeah, because I only joined halfway through. That's why.
yeah, right. I'm going to consider this a Spork of Ice and Fire episode 1. That was a good time. Let's see. Being inspired, Andal.
Oh, 11 Alpha has a theory, and I think he's spot on because Melisandre has some stuff to say about him, and
she was afraid of him, right?
She's terrified of him. Yeah,
and someone had a vision of him, and it involved a lot of skulls.
Yes, right. Yeah. She was scared of him. She actually told Stannis to kill him, and he wouldn't do it because of his daughter, who is going to be the reason why Grayscale is an outbreak, and that's why they have to sacrifice her, because it's not going to be for.
Maybe Patchface is the one who burns her.
You never know. Or he starts it. What?
I was just rewatching. I've rewatched season 6 because I hate myself. But people were saying it's the best of the newer seasons. I think in the show, Shireen was sacrificed to bring Jon back.
Yeah. No.
It wasn't anything to do with the weather.
No, it was for the weather to dry.
Yeah, but it didn't. That was the point.
No, the reason Jon came back is because she truly just
cut his hair.
Well, no, that too.
She gave him a bath.
If you think about what she says right before Jon awakes, she's like, please God, like almost like a desperate plea.
Well, what I'm saying is they've established that life can only be paid for through death.
Well, the show ignored most of what.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
the show really said.
I'm just saying, watching it back because it's like, oh, you're gonna get it. It's gonna clear the weather. I'm like, it slightly stops snowing a bit more the next day,
it
and
melts a little bit. It melts a little bit.
Yeah, like that's it. I feel like there was. I felt like she knew something was going to happen, and she sacrificed him just so she could take that sacrifice energy to Jon.
Right.
No, because she's shocked that Stannis had lost.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, no, she was.
Yeah, because she loses faith basically.
Right. And right as she's praying for Jon, like she begs her God, it's like her faith was kind of gone. And like in that moment, that's why he was resurrected. And maybe the blood of her.
Thank God Davos changed his stance on magic to resurrect a person he knew nothing about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was about the same time when he started referring to the leader of the White Walkers as the Night King.
The Night King. That was the very first time was in that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody had mentioned the Night King.
Right.
Yet everyone in season 6, I think he's mentioned about 20 times, and no one asked who that is. They all seem to know who the Night King is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, everyone at the wall who got saved by Stannis are just completely fine with Brienne showing up and say, yeah, I killed him.
Yeah. Also, there was 9 people that stabbed him, and only 4 people were hung.
Right. Ollie, that little prick. All right, I do have to wrap it up though. Yeah, he was a little prick. Oh, my parents got killed. All right.
Yeah, but potatoes.
Potatoes. Oh my god, I gotta watch. No, I gotta we should do a rewatch.
Season 6 sucks. My God,
Oh, it's so bad.
everyone says it was the best of the newer stuff, and I'm just like, it's painful.
I'm one of those people that said that, and I realized I was wrong. But we should do a rewatch, but not like starting at season 1. Like, let's start at like the last episode of season 4 and move on from there. Something like that. Maybe we'll have to talk about that. But thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Pass this along to your friends. Share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Anything you guys want to talk about before we go?
Season 6 sucks.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great night. God bless. If not, I hope you find faith. Something like that. And where can you find the best, I don't know, A Song of Ice and Fire streams and topics? Right about here.
Where's the best place for content on the world of Ice and Fire?
Right over there. See where I am pointing with my dagger.
Actually, I'm going to try something for the first time.
What?
All right, let's do it now. Where can you find the best? I suck. Later, everybody. Outro on.
Where's the best place for content on the world of Ice and Fire?
Right over there. See where I am pointing with my dagger. I just found
Sporking News Podcast with me, Sporking. Make sure you like and subscribe.